The content of tonight's program may include strong language, which may not be suitable for young audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Around the Ropes radio show. Here are your hosts, John, Ray, Jay, and featuring Wilson's Corner with Kevin Wilson.
Good evening, everybody out in ATR land. As you notice, I am by myself today. Why am I by myself at this moment? Well, John explained last week at the last show that he wasn't going to be in today because of his birthday. Happy birthday, John. Jay, unfortunately, is not here at the beginning because of New York traffic. He'll be joining me probably within the second segment. So, solo show for the time being. What do you want to talk about, ATR Nation? Do we want to talk about what happened on SmackDown Live on Friday? Do we want to talk about what happened yesterday on Raw? Do we want to talk about the backlash of Obafemi's comments on Stephanie McMahon's podcast? Or maybe we just talk about it all. Let's start with Obafemi. Now, Obafemi went on, as we know, Stephanie McMahon's podcast, and he was asked a very simple question, very, very simple, and it seems to have created a lot of backlash in the IWC, simply because I will read the transcription. He was asked by Stephanie who or what taught him to be or to dream big and motivate him to get where he is. And we have a comment coming in from David Reynolds, who seems to be adjusting to the time change finally. And he asks, are you not over on Facebook tonight, Ray? We absolutely should. I'm looking over at my control panel, and it says that ATR is streaming to Facebook. Around the Ropes radio show is streaming to Facebook, YouTube, under both the ATR network and under the I-86 network. So if you are not seeing us on Facebook, David, then that's something that we have to figure out, and we will do so after the show. I can't go in right now and do all the technical stuff that needs to be done without discontinuing the show. And David, since I have you here, I want to keep you here. So, David, since Jay is not here with me at the moment and the boss is on vacation, I will ask you regarding what Obafemi said on Stephanie McMahon's podcast, which was the question being posed to him: who or what taught him to dream big and motivate him to get where he is? He responded with Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, and David Goggins. And everywhere that I saw that clip was being posted, Obafemi was getting killed in the comments because of the fact that he names two massive MAGA supporters. And as a person of color and an immigrant, a lot of people, both members of the IWC and not, feel like he could have chose better choices, better representatives of the Black community to use as his role models, if you would. Of course, Joe Rogan, being one of the biggest Trump supporters at the time, essentially helped Trump get reelected for his second term. And, well, Elon Musk, that goes without saying. Because at this point in time, people are no longer, a lot of people are no longer looking at those names, those ties to this administration as statement or issue, but simply because of the way things have been going and violations that the administration has committed, committing, and will be committing for the next few years. I can understand people's frustration. I am wondering if anybody out there watching thinks that Obafemi would be able to bounce back from those comments, perhaps change the view that some people in the IWC community have of him now. And some of the comments went way far beyond what they needed to be. And I get it. It's an emotional time. It's a dangerous time, especially if you are a person of color and an immigrant. You know, I'm just interested to hear what you folks might have to say in the comments. Is it a big deal, as the IWC would have you believe, or do you just think that it's something that the IWC will, in typical IWC fashion, be upset about and turn on Oba, and then just forget about why they turned on Oba, if they turned on him at all? For me, I feel like it could be tied to his persona, right? His wrestling persona is the ruler. I mean, if your persona is the ruler, then, you know, wouldn't you name despised rulers? But we don't know. We don't know if Oba is being a face, a heel. So, you know, his character needs a little bit more fleshing out on the main roster in order to make an accurate assumption. Now, with that being said, and we will get Jay's thoughts on this when he joins the show in a little while, whenever he can dig himself out of New York traffic and get home safely. In good news, the legend known as Sting, and we saw in his retirement match, we saw his sons dressing up as, I believe they called it Beachbody Sting, and that was a Surfer Sting. That's what it was, where he had the bleach blonde cut, the flat top, little curly tail, did the bright, colorful face paint. They used his more iconic red, white, and blue Great American Bash gear. And then his son Steve played the Crow Sting. Well, this past weekend at a house show, Steve Borden made his wrestling debut with New Japan Pro. And I gotta tell you, I see that Steve Borden has been training for maybe a few months, a year or so, from what we see in the clip that you can find everywhere on social media, he's going to be something. He has the potential. Let me say that. You can never say if anybody's going to be something anymore, because a lot of it has to do with how he's booked and how he handles those bookings. But he is somebody who has the potential of being good, maybe even great. Could he be his dad? I don't know, man. That's such a slippery slope to go down, because it is a completely different time and era for anybody in the wrestling world. So, I mean, think about it. Sting was the face of WCW during the Monday Night Wars. Sting never left. Sting never jumped ship. You know, so there was a lot going on then that isn't going on now that helped define Sting's legacy. And to imbibe that or imply that Steve could be as big as his dad is, I don't think that could really ever happen. David over on Facebook says, well, all I can say is Oba is entitled to his opinions as anyone else. I can understand why many people would be upset, but people shouldn't let that affect their opinion of Oba as a wrestler. He's not the first wrestler to make outrageous statements, as your regular longtime wrestling fans know. David, I have a question for you. And I'm glad to see that you were able to find us on Facebook. I'm glad that we don't have to go and tear down the show, as it would, to find out where the link was. But you say that, you know, I can understand why people would be upset, but people shouldn't let that affect their opinion of Oba as a wrestler. Does that apply to Chris Benoit as well? And if not, then why? If so, then why? So that's my question. That is my rebuttal, David. Does that methodology apply to Chris Benoit, where you shouldn't let what he did or what he did outside of the ring affect their opinion as the wrestler? And there he is.
There he is. He's back. Jay is back. What's going on?
Welcome, Jay, to the show. I was having a good talk with our friend David John Reynolds over in the UK.
David.
We had touched on
Navarre.
We had touched on the Oba Femi comments on Stephanie McMahon's podcast. Mm-hmm. And you're aware of what was said, right? I think we went over it in the production chat.
Yep.
Yeah. So David says, hey, Oba's entitled to his opinions just as anyone else. I can, however, understand why people would be upset, but they shouldn't let that affect their opinion of Oba as a wrestler. To which my rebuttal was, well, does that methodology stick when we bring up names like Chris Benoit, where it doesn't really matter what he did outside the ring? He was a wrestler, and that's what we should concentrate on. Or does it matter, and do we take the person as a whole? You know, as stuff that they have done outside of the ring and stuff, and no matter how good they are or are going to be, should we take all of that into consideration, or should we just stick to the ring?
Yeah, I think it's everything is over exaggerated just by the generation we live in. I think anybody's entitled to whatever they want to say, point blank and simple. So what if the guy mentioned names that are not wrestlers? There's a lot of wrestlers right now that are not even coming from wrestling backgrounds. So they come from all over sports. Some come through TikTok, streaming, Twitch, whatever. They're gonna say outrageous names that we're gonna be like, wait, but why he didn't say Flair? Why he didn't say Hogan? Why he didn't say McMahon?
Well, the
The game.
bigger issue that we brought up with Oba's comments were that he was getting killed. Anywhere you see the video clip in the comments, Oba is getting
Yeah.
killed based off of this current political climate. You have a person of color who is an immigrant talking about he looked up to Joe Rogan and Elon Musk essentially as inspirations to dream big.
I have no problem with that. If anybody knows Joe Rogan and where he came from, I absolutely have no problem with it. I think people are just reading it too much. And if he was really, really killed, well, he didn't look killed last night.
No, he did not. But
So-
again, this is the IWC that we're talking about, and it is the internet.
Bunch
Just
of freaking trolls.
yeah, well,
Trolls, that's what they are. Cares.
Oh,
Guys,
And then
over.
we went on to talking about Steve Borden's how Steve Borden made his debut at a New Japan house show, and how he looked really good. He still looked new, but you can definitely see that there is some potential there.
It sure is. I see
So
him as an AEW signing in the future. That match actually looked good.
Didn't it? It was it looked like
It
a
didn't look bad.
triple threat match. I'm not sure.
I thought his punches were weak in the beginning, but boy, when I saw it again, I was completely wrong. His punches are great.
Yeah, no, everything looked really, really good.
You know, I don't know if I would have him do drop kicks again, but I don't think he needs it because he's a power guy. But I like the match. I thought it was pretty good.
For his first
Yeah.
for his debut, I thought so as well. And David chimes in on that because I was having a little bit of a back and forth with David. He was tuned in, he was active in the comments, and I was hurting for a co-host. So David filled your duties,
Oh man,
filled your role while
David.
you were on. David,
Raisins and flour.
Sting is my all-time favorite American wrestler, so I wish his son the best, but there's some pretty big shoes to fill, which they are, and we covered that.
We can't expect every generational talent to fill their daddy's shoes. I mean, look at LeBron and Brownie.
Ugh.
Look at that. Look at that. So many high hopes, right? And a fail.
No,
So I'm just saying for like generational talent, I don't think we need to put them on a pedestal. I think we need to just take them out and just give them a chance, see what they could bring.
I agree with you. I also had stated that there are so many factors beyond anybody's control as to why Sting ended up the enormous Hall of Fame star that he is. Like, he was the stalwart of WCW during the Monday Night Wars. He started out in the territories which you don't even have anymore.
Right.
You know, and that's really where it all started, was in the NWA JCP era. But there's never going to be another Monday Night War the way that there was back in the original Monday Night Wars. So, without having kind of that catalyst, you're at a disadvantage to say, oh, he can be just as big of a star as his dad. Can he, though?
No.
You know?
I only seen it one person do it over than the parent, and that is Charlotte Flair.
I would think Randy's more over than Cowboy Bob as well.
You could say that too.
I mean, Cowboy Bob was pretty big in his day, but I think Randy has surpassed him.
And I think Charlotte surpassed her father. I mean, her work ethic is 10 times better than Flair's. I mean, I know it's a statement that might get me killed by IWC out there.
I mean,
But if you look at the work, if you look at the accolades,
so Charlotte is currently what, 35, I think she said.
somewhere around there.
I'm not sure if you could put her work ethic at 35 against her dad's work ethic when he was 35 and say that she was the better Flair.
I mean, it's a comment that get me killed. Like I said, I know his father did those hour-long matches from day every day, but
He's serious.
yeah, hey, Charlotte
Twice on a
Flair. I mean, Charlotte
Literally
Flair,
twice on a Sunday.
yeah. And if you look at Charlotte Flair when she came up, I didn't think she was going to be any good. She was kind of crappy when she came up. And then she got better. And then she found her persona. And then she realized, wow, I could just break out. And I think a lot of people, Randy's a perfect example too. That's a good one too. But there's just certain wrestlers that just break out and they surpass their parents. And I think those two, the one you name and the one I name, are definitely prime examples. Now, I know there may be disagreements with Flair, but gotta give it to her. She's a female. This is a person that never wanted to do wrestling. It was her brother. She just took on the dream to, live it on. So you got to give kudos to that. I mean, a person that, barely watches wrestling here and there when her father's performing, for someone to take someone else's dream and run with it and surpass expectations, that's huge, man.
Oh, you're absolutely right. That does speak to her determination, her work ethic.
Exactly.
Navar over on Facebook says, hey guys, I've met Sting. It was at Twin Cities Con. And I got to tell you, Sting was a real nice guy. I haven't really,
listen. For $400, he'll be a very nice guy to me too. Okay?
$400, I'll be a nice guy.
For $400, he'll be a very, very nice guy. And he'll take a photo with me too.
No, so listen, I've heard stories from before Sting got sober that he could be kind of curmudgeon-y, but he also didn't do a whole lot of meet and greets back then either.
Do you feel that Sting wouldn't be so big that we're talking about him now if he didn't do that whole white-black face paint that he just basically got from The Crow, the movie with Brandon Lee?
So you're asking if
the face paint helped him get over in WCW back in the time more than anybody. He was over more than anybody in 97, 98.
Oh, absolutely. Real quick, Shamika over on Facebook says, if it was up to social media trolls, everyone would get canceled.
There you go.
Man can look up to whoever he wants to look up to.
And he's always over. He's over last night.
He was.
But what do you think? Do you think the face paint of what they did? I'm not saying maybe they copyright, but I think they copyrighted. The face paint helped them because that movie was such like a cult classic.
So I'm gonna say the face paint and the change in persona did help him, because up until that point, for 15 years, so that happened in
97. Yeah, like late 97.
Yeah, so for about 10 to 12 years prior, he was Surfer Sting. He was the shaking babies, kissing hands.
Shaking hands,
kissing babies. White meat.
Say that 5 times fast.
No, I couldn't even say it one time slow. What are you talking about?
$40 Navar to take a photo with Sting. Jesus, I gotta go.
Navar said it was $40 to take a pic.
It was $400 over here in Queens.
I think that may have been more of the promoter than Sting.
Yeah, he must have hiccups.
So do I think that persona change helped him? Absolutely. That helped. That gave him the edge over the NWO.
So what if I take it off? If I take off that white and black color, you think he would have got over?
See, the thing is, it's
hard, right?
It's hard because it wasn't just the paint, right? It was the entire persona change. Are you taking out the persona change that happened with the face paint as well, or are you just taking the face paint off?
I'm just taking the face paint off. I want to know if the guy can get over as he's so over that we hold him on this pedestal. If I took that face paint off in 97, 98, would he have been so big 20 now years later, and we'd be talking about him like, yeah, he's one of the time best. He did this, he did that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Simply because of the simple fact that there were many times between that whole span where you saw him with his shades on with no paint. So going by that, I would absolutely think yes.
By the way, I love The Crow. That was such a cult classic movie.
Oh, absolutely. It absolutely was. Not a fan of the remake. They tried.
I didn't even dare watch it. I can't, dude. So, it's like a disrespect to Brandon Lee.
They used one of the Skarsgård brothers for it, right? And
yeah,
it would have been. It was good. It was good, but it wasn't the original. That's all I gotta say.
No, can't do it. Well, overall, Sting is definitely big shoes to fill, and I'm sure his son will have a successful road. His match looked good in his debut. I liked it. I don't think he needs to do high flying spots, but I get it. His father was like that when he came up. So the drop kick, I'll allow. But overall, I thought he looked great. And, you know, you got to understand, people. It's really hard wrestling in a ring, especially you're a rookie in your first match. You have to also pay attention. So for him to
not only that, also having the shadow of your dad looming over you.
But to pay attention and know what people are leading you into this and that, it could be, you know, could be nervous. It could be a nerve-wracking. It could be a lot of pressure. But he handled it well. I thought it was really good for a good start.
Absolutely. So I'm going to kind of segue, but kind of staying in the same general area, right? We're talking about
let it out. Let it out.
This generation as opposed to the previous generation, right?
Let it out. We're TV mature. Go ahead.
Brock Lesnar earlier in the week on an interview talked about the current climate backstage at WWE.
Okay.
And he went on record as to say, I was a shooter, an amateur guy. I had a lot of credentials to my name. Of course, I got tested along the way by the old timers and the other boys. You have to pay your dues. Back then, you paid your dues and you had to get your respect. It's different now, obviously. Things have gotten a lot softer. There aren't any more kangaroo courts. It's different now. But I mean, I go there and I'm the old guy now. So would his comments and how we're talking about this newer, younger generation and the comments of The Undertaker being pissed off because they're playing video games backstage, do you think that a lot of this is just a case of the old timers are going to old time?
I can't speak for all the old timers, but what I could speak about this comment that he posted, it was very well worded. I have no issue with it. I think it's 1,000% correct. People that are coming in, it is soft. I don't think people pay their dues at all. I know they come from different backgrounds and sports and stuff like that, gymnastics, ice skating, but streamers. But are you going to tell me like these people are really paying their dues? They're not. I think they just super soft. And I don't think they get tested by the veterans that are there. I think they just listen in 1 year and then it's out the other. It's back to the video games. I mean, we see this in professional football. We've seen people, Kyle Murray, for example, perfect example. He plays video games. And the coaches called him out on it. Yeah, well, we try to teach him in the playbook of this practice, but, you know, he was stuck in the video game. It's a different generation. And you know what? I feel bad for this generation because it is a loss. I think people do need to pay their dues, especially you're stepping up to someone like a Brock, a Randy, a John, R-Truth, or this.
But what constitutes them paying their dues? Having someone shit in their gym bag?
Well, that's called hazing. So it's entirely, you're talking about hazing. Now, if it's hazing you're talking about, then
bro, the shit like that happened all the time in the locker room back then.
Well, some of it got
I
it,
mean,
some of it didn't, right? Miz got it, right? He got kicked out of the
he got
locker
kicked
room.
out. Yes,
Yeah,
I
he
mean
got
that
kicked
was
out.
that was that whole story is just.
But listen, but did it work? Did it make him into a superstar? Yes, it did.
No, his work ethic made him into a superstar. What?
Okay, he got kicked out. Somebody saw
Because they
something
didn't
good in
like
him, right?
him.
So
They
hold
got
on.
kicked out. He got kicked out because they didn't like him.
He got kicked out because he was just this reality TV star,
Exactly.
and everybody thought reality TV stars were dicks. Correct?
Well, they thought he
Correct.
was, yeah.
Yeah, but most of the old timers thought that reality stars were a bunch of jokes. They were a joke, right? And Miz was the first one, right? I'm gonna say this. I think it helped. I think the hazing helped. Listen, Mark Calloway, aka The Undertaker, came, said, "You know what, kid? I'm gonna let you in. This is not right. I think there's something good, but you have to do this, this, and this." And he did, and he became a superstar. He main evented WrestleMania, walked out as champ, all around champ. I think
But
sometimes
you're assuming that these are things that he wouldn't have done anyway.
I think he wouldn't.
No, see, and I'm gonna tell you you're wrong. I remember watching the season of Real World that he was on, and all of the Real World Road Rules challenges that he participated in. He was that intense.
I watched the actual Real World. I didn't watch that Road Rules challenge crap. I don't like that.
Well, this was before they made it like an entire show.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It used to be like special segments of
this TV really was that bad on reality.
You know. But that was always his dream. That was always what he strived to work for. So to say that, you know, him getting kicked out of the locker room because they didn't like him because he was a reality TV star was the reason why he made it to where he made it. No, he already had that drive. He already had that determination.
He already
had that work ethic.
I get it. But I think sometimes when you have that, you need a little fuel, just a little kick. Like if your car don't start, what are you going to do? You're trying to make it work. Are you going to give it a little kick, see if you could get it going?
But that's what I'm saying. There was nothing that was misfiring. His engine wasn't starting. His engine was working.
It was working, but it wasn't working. It was working. It was working, but it wasn't working to the full potential.
No, it wasn't working the way that the old timers wanted it to work. That's the problem. The old timers said, "We don't like you. You're a reality star. Get dressed in the fucking janitor's closet." It didn't do anything for his work ethic.
I think it gave it a little kick. I know you're not going to agree with me.
I think you're wrong, I just think this is an old man thinking about the.
I think, but listen. I don't want to spend an hour on this because I'll still say I'm right. But I will say about the comment. I don't think the comment was bad. I think it was very well worded by Brock Lesnar. These wrestlers don't come in. They don't pay their dues. Okay, you do this, you do tours, you do that, you do etc. But sometimes you have to listen. Now, they're at the IWC, my whole trolls, wherever you're out there, please come out and defend me. But there have been rumors, okay? Rumors that not only they're playing video games, maybe I should say the superstar. Bailey made a comment on 6 Feet Under saying that there's wrestlers that don't even wait. They just leave.
Yeah, okay? That I think is disrespectful.
That is like, okay, how am I paying my dues? I'm leaving. I should stay. If I want to get better, right, Ray? If I want to get better as a wrestler, I want to make that top dollar that everybody's making around. Shouldn't I stay after my match and just watch other matches or talk to veterans that are not even there all the time, FYI? When you see Brock Lesnar every single week, I don't. But wouldn't you stay and get some advice like, hey, my name is Jay, Brock. I just want to know, what do you think I could do in my match? I would. And for veterans to call that out, how can I not agree with Brock when he's saying that they're soft? They're absolutely soft. Am I right? Am I wrong? I mean,
I don't take
these are wrestlers that are saying it. I'm not even saying it.
I get that. I don't take them staying. I don't take them. Sorry, let me rephrase that. I don't take them leaving before the end of the show as being soft. I take that as a flat out disrespect.
It's not. It's a disrespect, but it's also like, hey, buddy, don't you want to get better? Don't you want to be in that other tier instead of where you are right now? So I'm not saying stay for the whole freaking show, but you gotta at
Oh,
least talk to people, right?
The one thing that I will say is if you are on a
people.
play or a match card with other people, you stay for the whole thing. It's just it's just what you do. It's
Preach.
how you respect the people that came in
Preach.
and were there and saw your shit. Okay.
Preach.
Now, as far as them asking for advice and how to get better, you're forgetting that this generation has the performance center and they have legitimate coaches that were superstars. They have superstars that are also there training. So they have a lot more avenues open to them than a lot of previous generations of talent. You see, so just because they aren't asking backstage, Bailey, what do you think I can do? You know, perhaps they're going to go to Shawn Michaels and say, hey, Shawn, you know, during their next promo class or whatever, did you see my match? And what do you think I could do better? We don't know what they're doing enough to say they're fucking it up.
You know, if I don't remember the Undertaker of 6 Feet Under, I think it was Gunther. I could be wrong. Where he basically say, yeah, wrestlers come up to me, they ask for my advice, they ask what I could do in my match, and I tell them what they should try to do, or at least, you know, just give it a shot, see how it plays out, and they don't utilize it.
Well, that's unfortunate.
So listen, so why would a wrestler just come up to the Undertaker? Hey, I think it's all talk. All right. If you're really passionate about this business, like you said, Ray, you say for the whole freaking show. Okay. Enough with the disrespect. But now I'm going to ask you the big question because you read it. Do you agree with Brock Lesnar's comment?
Hold on. Navarre gave us some flowers and said, hey, you guys are doing a good job. Appreciate that.
This is like, you know, what are Stephen A and Skip? This is us. This is us, baby.
I don't want to be Steve.
Well, I can't look like Skip.
How do you know you don't already?
Can't look like. Well, that's true. My takes are kind of like Skip.
So, I'm sorry. You wanted to ask me what I thought. I think
if you agree with his comment, what did he say?
So, part of it, I am very glad that it's not like it was back then with the hazing and the bullshit. You know, emotional development and conflict resolution instead of just shitting in somebody's fucking gym bag and, you know, what have you. I think those are great skills to have. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Maybe. Yeah, go ahead.
As far as being soft in the way that they think that they can just leave the show early and still get better if they're not asking for help down at the performance center, then yeah, absolutely, I agree with that. But to say that I wholly agree with his statement or I wholly disagree, it's a little more nuanced than that.
Maybe he should have just tweaked it a bit because he did come from a different generation compared to the hazing that The Miz went through and talked about. I think he should have just basically talked about what generation, because honestly, when the ruthless aggression happened, it was a little hardcore, but they were wrestlers that were not getting hazed and were given opportunity. I mean, perfect example is John Cena.
Right.
So come on, when he came up, I'm talking about the, what is it, OVW days? Mm-hmm. They really saw potential in him. He just didn't cut it, but wrestlers didn't treat him like crap. They didn't haze him. They didn't say this. They didn't say that.
Right. No,
I think if he just said maybe specify what generation, then you would have probably, you know, killed me in this debate. And I probably would have agreed with you and be like, yeah, you know what? You're right. Because hazing was worse back then.
Oh my God. It was so, it was borderline.
10 times worse. Between that and the ruthless aggression era, I mean, forget about it.
Right. Absolutely.
But you know, it's a different generation, let's just say, right? Can we just say that? It's just the way people are brought in, and you talked about the performance center and the tools they have there with the coaches. It's just a lot different. It's just
It is.
It's
So
what
with that
it
being said, we're going to take a moment of Zen.
is.
And then we have to run the skills that pay the bills and hear from our sponsor.
Keep it classy.
And then we'll be back with our SmackDown and Raw recap.
Oh, I got that shit on Smack.
You just made the list! At Simply Green, we believe in the power of nature to bring balance, relaxation, and well-being. As a premium THC brand, our mission is to provide high-quality, responsibly sourced products that enhance your lifestyle. Whether you're seeking relaxation, creativity, or wellness support, we curate a selection of top-tier THC to suit your needs. Rooted in trust and transparency, we are committed to delivering safe, lab-tested products while fostering a community that embraces education and responsible use. Simply Green is more than just a brand. It's a movement for a greener, more mindful future. Call 631-846-6060 to order or visit our location in Coram, New York. For use only by adults 21 years of age and older. Keep out of reach of children and pets. Please consume responsibly. Cannabis is not recommended for use by persons who are pregnant or nursing. Concerned about your cannabis use? Contact the New York State HIPAA line by texting HOPE-NY, calling 1-877-8, HOPE-NY, or visiting oasisny.gov/HOPE.
Are we back?
Just like that, we're back.
What do you want to talk about? SmackDown?
So I said we're gonna do a SmackDown and then Raw recap.
Okay.
And your last words before we went to our moment of Zen
Yes,
was, I need to shit on SmackDown.
I do.
All right. So the floor is yours, my friend.
So I just want to talk about the whole Randy Orton situation and Cody Rhodes. I feel so upset. I'm so angry that the way Cody Book is being booked into this match is kind of reminding me of last year's WrestleMania, right? The popular guy comes in as a baby face. He's trying to, he ends a championship, but somehow there's a challenger that people love more than anybody. Randy Orton is the most respected wrestler in this business. And people say, like JBL and 6 Feet Under with Mark Calloway, if you want to make a wrestler, if you want to make a model, I will use Randy Orton. I 100% agree with that. Randy Orton is one of the top guys that is respected. He's also a veteran leader in the backstage. He's teaching my favorite, Javon Evans, and my other favorite, Trick Williams. And he's helping them out, and he's doing a great job. Now, for him to be heel in this match, I think it was a big mistake because he's getting more cheered than boos. And that's what I heard on SmackDown. That's when I heard when he cut the promo. And by the way, it was a terrific promo. I have no problem for it because it was just too perfect. It made perfect sense. It was the right reason. Voices in my head. I got to attack Cody. He gave me the blessing, but somehow he's getting more cheered. He gets cheered on Matt Cardona, for God's sakes. And basically they chant one more time, one more time, one more time. Dude, I think we booked Cody in another predicament that we did last year. Yes, I hate it for Cody. I really do hate it for Cody. I think they should have just left it the way it was, Randy and Drew. But somehow we wanted to plug in Cody. I get it. But I ask you if you like this segment of the Randy Orton, and I ask everybody, do you guys agree with me that Cody is once again being booked badly, just like last year's WrestleMania? He is going to get booed heavily, and they do not want him to retain the championship at WrestleMania. And that's what I heard Friday. And I don't think that was the right call to do of turning Randy heel.
So, first off, I agree wholeheartedly with what you said regarding Cody. Randy's promo, as always, fucking good.
It was great.
What if they did something unexpected? They turned Randy heel. Well, we don't even know if we turned him heel. Based on his promo, Cody gave him the blessing. The voices said go, And he went. Did he go too far? That's neither here nor there. Cody gave him the blessing. He told him what he wanted to face. The voices said, go, Randy. Randy went, right?
Yes.
So what if that wasn't a heel turn? What if the actual heel turn comes from Cody being pissed off at the fans for what Randy did to one of his best friends and still chanted one more time like they were some sick, twisted individuals just like who hear voices just like Randy?
I think it will work, but the problem is the fans wouldn't need it. I think they just read between the lines.
I think the fans are waiting for a moment to boo Cody out of the building, and that gives them the opportunity.
Listen, if they really want to fix this, which I know Cody won't sign off on it, you turn him heel at WrestleMania and you make him retain the belt. But
in a heel way,
we seen that last year. Yeah, kick in the nuts, boom, 1, 2, 3, John Cena.
Right.
I don't know if I could see that again. I think they just you know what? Perfect example. NXT, Tony D'Angelo. Is he a face or a heel? I ask you. Is he a heel or a face?
For redemption. I mean, not for redemption. For
okay. So you're totally in agreement with me. He's not a face or a heel. He's redemption. I say neutral. He's neither. That's what they should have done, and that's what they did already. Why are you gonna just break something if it's already working? You don't need to fix it. You don't need to tear it apart. It was working. If you saw the segment when they were sitting down, they were both getting cheered. Both of them.
Mm-hmm. I know.
I don't know. I don't understand. Is this like how we got to do in the movies? They got to be a hero and a bad guy, and the hero has to win, or sometimes the bad guy wins in the movie. Is that how we got to do wrestling now? We can't do it just straight up. Like, listen, you're my brother. This, and we could do something so dramatic in the WrestleMania match that will have people talking on the next night of Monday After Raw. After WrestleMania, I think that would be great, but. I don't know. I don't like this. Look, he's getting cheered. He get cheered for kicking McDonald's ass.
Mm-hmm. You bring up I think you bring up a great point. You don't have to always have heel face, right? You don't always have to have the super bad guy versus the super good guy. Would you agree with me that one of the greatest WrestleMania matches is Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair?
It would be on my top 10. So okay. I will give you the kudos.
Okay. Who was the heel and who was the face in that match?
Well, Shawn was the heel.
And was he really?
Okay, Flair came in, I get it, as the heel, but that match, it was basically switched. It was switched before the match started.
I don't recall either one of them being a legitimate face or heel. It was Shawn. It was Shawn Mike.
Okay, you're right. You're right.
You're picking Shawn Michaels to retire him.
Yeah, you're right. He picked him on the promos and everything, and he wanted
right.
it to be his last match.
Arguably one of the top 10 WrestleMania matches doesn't have a clear-cut face or heel, a clear-cut good guy or bad guy, and it's still one of the top 10 WrestleMania matches of all time.
It's kind of like Bret Hart and British Bulldog. Remember that match?
Bret Hart, God, yes. It's like that. I'll take it back to WrestleMania 8, Roddy Piper versus Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Both of them were faces. They even built up on they even did stories and vignettes about the bond between Piper and Hart in and out of the ring. And that was a banger of a match.
I'm so conflicted with Bret Hart and Stone Cold. Like, I guess Stone Cold was the heel before, but he was getting cheered towards the match. So I don't know if that could count. I'm kind of conflicted on it.
We got a couple of comments to get to.
I don't know. I kind of.
Navarre says over on Facebook, I like Cody as a babyface.
Yes, but not against a big baby face in Randy. Can't do
But
it.
Cody was a heel in Ring of Honor, and he was a
Yeah.
good heel.
I like them better in New Japan.
I mean, yes, his New Japan heel work was fantastic.
It was so great.
And then you have David who says, let's face it. Haha, funny. See what you did there. Heel or face, the crowd is going to love Orton.
See?
Or do you
See?
realize how egregious Orton would, like, the acts that Orton would have to portray on Cody and his family would have to be so egregious. Like, they've already done the massive beatdown that's keeping Cody off of TV for weeks.
He's coming back.
And he's
this Friday.
still getting cheered. The only way that you can get sympathy, and I'm convinced the only way that you can get sympathy is to have Brandy and Liberty ringside on a SmackDown going into Mania, maybe the Go Home show, right? You have Liberty and Brandy ringside, and Cody's out there for his match, what have you. Randy jumps him. Randy then handcuffs Cody to the ring ropes or the post. He then grabs Brandy, who does not have Liberty in her arms at this moment. Somebody else has Liberty, but Liberty is still there. Randy grabs Brandy, flips her over the barrier, throws her into the ring, and just as she's getting up, he fucking punts her.
You just reminded me flashbacks of Triple H and Randy Orton when he handcuffed Triple H and kissed Stephanie.
Kissed Stephanie and then gave her the
I just got chills because that was one of my favorite segments. That was one of my favorites.
I think him actually the way now that I think about it, I think
that was a great segment.
Oh. I think him doing the same thing, kissing Brandy and giving her the hanging DDT, and then while the crowd is booing, that's when, as Brandy's getting up, Randy punts her. And then Randy leaves, and you see Brandy getting carted off from the on a stretcher. Cody's freaking out. The refs are, Aldis is trying to get a set of keys. They can't get a set of keys. Fucking Davari comes out with the bolt cutters. They check that. Liberty's in fucking absolute hysterics. Like, you can make this work, but you have to push some limits. Are you willing to push the limits?
You could try, you can execute, but it still will fail. It still will fail. And the big reason behind that, hey, when you come out and people are singing your song and you're a heel, that's it, man. It's over. Like, you could kick, you could go to the person's house, you could beat them up, you could talk about harass the ride, you could chase the kid. It's too late, man. This guy gets this theme song chanted by the fans.
So does Cody, though.
He was a face. We wanted him to be heel, so we booed him every time because I was in Grand Slam in Queens, and I booed him when he fought
Navar Olsen said, "Was Cody a babyface or a heel in AEW?" David over on Facebook answers. He answers by saying this: in AEW, the crowd turned on Cody because he refused to turn heel.
I turned on him too.
It wasn't so much that he refused to turn heel. It was that he was always written as the white meat baby face that never had any conflict, any strife. Like, there was no there was no character development. There was no growth. Like, there was no crisis of confidence at any point in time in his AEW run.
Preach. So I say scripted. Just like you say everything is, that's how I say scripted. That's how it was. Scripted.
Yeah, but you're not wrong.
But listen, Ray, I'm going to tell you, I am not excited for this match. I hope Randy Orton wins the 15th championship. I'm sorry, man. I think we're going to get another duper unless what I think should happen, which I think WWE wants to happen, is The Rock in somehow, some way be involved in this as the person that Randy is speaking to. I say a McMahon. I say Shane McMahon just to be a wild card. But
I'm going to do you one better.
I'm going to say The Rock.
I'm going to do you one better. What if it's nobody on the other end of the phone? What if it's just the voices?
No. And it's a fail. They build it up so much. I really listen. Let's talk about IWC. Logan Paul and Tom Brady. Tom Brady played flag football with Logan Paul. Then they cut an angle in front of everybody. Now all the wrestlers are tweeting about it, like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!" Right?
I don't think. I think there's real dislike between Brady and.
Oh yeah, of course. I would hate. Listen, I would hate the kid too. I would hate him too. But overall, they cut the angle. Why they cut the angle? Because they want to try to negotiate and get Tom Brady somehow, some way into Las Vegas. It makes sense. He's minority order to the Raiders, right? So it makes perfect sense. I think that's what they're doing here. I think they're just rolling with it. But listen, if The Rock does not show up, it has to be somebody huge. That's why I say it's Shane McMahon or somebody. You can't just have Cowboy Bob Orton come out in a cast with his cowboy hat and come down and somehow be involved in this match. I don't even need to see The Rock. Just show me a video package. Cut it. When Cody's about to win, do the crossroads, video package, The Rock. I'm the final boss. That's it. I'd be good with that. But I think WWE is taking way too many chances. I think they screwed up this match. I'm sorry. I love Cody just as you and everybody here. But I love Randy more. Why? I grew up with the guy, just like you did, Ray. And I grew up with him just a little bit before Cody. A little bit before, man.
Well, yeah. I mean, he was the figurehead of legacy.
He was one of those pillars in OVW, right?
He was. He absolutely was.
All right. Enough.
Randy talk. I know we've been talking about it for a good almost 30 minutes now.
Let's keep going.
Let's have, so we talked about what we didn't like about SmackDown. Let's talk about something that I liked. Okay. I was a fan of. Sure. We have new tag team champions, brother.
Finally. And
you know what the cool thing is? If you watched Damian Priest's facial expression during the R-Truth pin, Priest looks around like somebody fucked up. And then when he's handed his title, he is smiling and laughing like a kid at Christmas, right? Well, come to find out, that's because Damian Priest wasn't told they were winning the tag titles. Only R-Truth and Mateo knew that was going to happen. And they purposely did that to kind of, as a way to say, for everything that you have done, Mr. Priest, here you go.
And a good camera shot angle.
I was happy that R-Truth and Damian Priest won to begin with, and then finding that out later just made it so much better.
I'm happy too. I hope they defend the belts. I hope we see the tag team belts, but it's kind of scratching my head because I did watch the whole SmackDown. I think it's going to lead to one of those tag team title ladder matches. I could just see it, just the way the matches were booked and the segments in SmackDown. So I think that's where we're heading to. I have no problem with that.
No, not at all. David says over on Facebook, Paul Heyman is a heel manager, but the crowd still does his shtick when he comes out. I mean, yeah, he's not really wrong.
Not wrong. It's just crazy that out of the division, Paul Heyman is the biggest superstar. That's the crazy part.
I mean, listen, it is.
That's the crazy part.
In order for Paul Heyman to not overshadow your talent, it has to be established talent.
He overshadowed them Monday.
Oh, absolutely he did. And we'll get into that later. But even with Brock, he kind of overshadows him. You know? I just think that goes to show how over Heyman has gotten himself.
Yeah, Brock.
Navarre over on Facebook says, hey, do you guys like CM Punk as a face or a heel in 2009 or in 2013? I kind of like this. Yeah. I kind of like this direction of heeldom that Punk is taking right now. And we'll get into his comments on his promo on Raw because he said he's like I,
We listen. Think for a second, but we have to talk about it because our good friend, the birthday boy John Blaine, says that he is heavily invested because of CM Punk and Roman Reigns. So definitely,
yeah,
that's it. I want to understand. So yes, we're gonna definitely talk about that.
absolutely. Yeah, that promo was
We'll
something.
talk about it.
As we expected, the Bella Twins and the what do they call themselves?
The desirable forces, something like that.
Yeah, undeniable forces or whatever.
Undeniable, indestructible, whatever.
Won via DQ. So
Wasn't
I'm
surprised.
not really surprised. I'm expecting there to be a 3-team,
Which I don't want to see.
a triple threat tag team match for the women's titles at WrestleMania.
Don't want to see it.
I think that's what we're gonna see.
Horrible. Horrible.
Do I think that there is something else that they could do?
Yes.
But do I know what it is yet? Not
So let me
entirely.
get this straight. Every year we get to WrestleMania, people that we like or veterans or they paid their dues, you want to call it, like we have to put them on the show, so they have to go to these tag matches and stuff like that. Like,
I mean, it's kind of been the WrestleMania way where you put the veterans there, they get their WrestleMania bump.
you know what's crazy? I don't even know what Io's doing at WrestleMania. That's crazy. That is so crazy to me. One of the top female stars, top 3, we could say. We don't know what she's doing at WrestleMania.
She's probably gonna go against Raquel, based off.
Oh
of
wow, Raquel versus Io, a
based
woman
off
that was
of what we
champion.
saw behind the scene backstage at Raw last night.
So horrible. You got to put Io in a great match. You can't just put her against Raquel. Right? Oh my god. Anyway,
Hey, we're also regarding SmackDown, we're going to see Drew McIntyre. We're probably going to see Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu.
I was so tired of that segment back and forth. It was getting to the point like, okay, stop. I get it, but stop. Like,
The only question is, which predictable stipulation are they going to go with? Are they going to do the street fight, the falls count anywhere, no disqualification, no holds barred, or are they going to do the oh my god, what was the match that they had on Raw when Raw first went to Netflix? It was Roman and Solo.
what is it? A tribal chief street?
Tribal
fight?
Combat. That's what it was. Tribal Combat.
Tribal combat. Listen, there's only 3 words that are going to come out of Jay's mouth. Last man standing.
I think a last man standing would be great.
That's what I got out of it. That's what I got out of it.
Who do you put over?
You know, with all the disrespect that this person's been dealing with, and I think he really got disrespected here in this WrestleMania card, I put Drew over.
Okay.
I have to.
That is one match where you could really go either way.
Oh, you can. And I think a lot of people would say Jacob. But I mean, the disrespect this guy, like, you're gonna tell me not only he had to forfeit the title, right? Back the so-called behind the curtain. He wanted to lose to Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania too. Like, I don't know if I see that happen. Just don't know.
No, I totally understand, and I agree with you on that.
He deserved it, man. The guy held the belt through the COVID era, for God's sakes. And you take the title off 2 months before the show? Dude. So disrespectful.
So with the match that we saw on SmackDown, Carmelo Hayes and Ilya Dragunov, which was, I mean, those two guys are really just, every time you put them in a match, it is a match of the year contender.
Have you noticed something about the match?
What's
that
they
shoulders were not
island as it goes on?
His right shoulder wasn't hitting the mat when it's counted 3.
It wasn't?
Nope. Just the left. Now, I'm not saying that was planned as part of the storyline, but they didn't.
Well,
really
I guess we'll have
beat
to
him.
tune in to see.
They didn't really beat him, but I told you, I told John, this match I would definitely put on WrestleMania card. 1,000.
How can you not? Every time they have gotten into the ring together, it's a match of the night contender.
Yeah.
They could literally steal the entire show if you put them on there at the right time. Sneaky good.
Great match.
All right, so I don't think there's anything else to talk about on for SmackDown.
Well, David agreed with me. He said, being half Scottish, half English, I have to be biased and go with Drew.
Absolutely.
Me too. I got Drew.
Okay, so Raw opens up with CM Punk addressing Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Did you think that was kind of a weird, like...
Wait, I thought Raw opened up with Brock. Brock, Paul, Oba, TD Garden. Yep. I think you jumped way ahead.
Oh, I think I have my notes fucked up.
Well, anyway, Monday Night Raw, folks, started out with Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar coming out, the advocate for the Beast Incarnate, and basically cutting one of the good promos he cut, because he did another one later on during the show, and basically saying that, yeah, Brock Lesnar's here, he's this, he's a machine, he can beat anybody, don't underestimate this guy. Boom, Oba's music hits, he comes out, he faces him, they have a stare down, and boom, Oba basically, Brock kicks him, try to do the F5. Oba reverses it, counters it, throws into the ropes, does the clothesline, throws him out of the ring and have a stare down. Which I thought this was perfect. I thought this was better than last week's, to be honest. I think
it was still physical while being not too physical. This is how every build-up to WrestleMania should go. And I'm not talking about the physicality. I'm talking about the little teases.
The little stuff.
You see what I'm saying? It's the small stuff that matters. Those little teases. You know, we saw that we saw the challenge laid out by Brock weeks ago. Open challenge WrestleMania. Last week we saw Oba decidedly answering that challenge. Now we see Brock kicking it up, going, oh, okay. Realizing that Oba is going to not only be the next big thing, but also going to be his opponent at WrestleMania.
Now, big question to you. Who goes over?
Oh, Oba, 100%. If you want to make Oba a star, you have him beat the man that broke The Undertaker's streak on the same stage.
I'm not going to give my answer just yet. I'm going to wait 3 more weeks, right? I'm going to wait. But from what I'm seeing, the way they booking it thus far, it looks like, hey, Brock may have the advantage. But we'll see next week in New York City. We'll see how it goes.
We will. Then what else did we have happen during the night? We had
it was kind of like a weird, like the crowd was alive. I love the crowd at TD Garden. But have you realized something, Ray? I'm going to ask you this because you're from Boston. I'm going to ask you this. Have you noticed something about WWE every time they go to TD Garden in Boston or MSG in New York City? Have you noticed something about maybe not every segment, but every little match or so, you'll see something a little different than what you would see if I go to Ohio or go to anywhere.
Well, I feel like they cater more to the wrestling heavy crowds. Like they know that Boston has always been one of the original cities for WWE.
Did you notice something about last night's show though? What certain matches did? I'll give you a perfect example. The Bayley match. Did you notice something a little differently as she would normally do in a match? Come on.
That she was a little heelish in some of her.
Well, you could say that, but what I'm saying is they utilize the table. I feel like every time WWE goes to TD Garden or MSG, right, one of the biggest arenas, they get a little hardcore. They get a little crazy, a little jumpy. We saw it with the Roman Reigns and Punk. We saw that. We saw it with Bayley. I feel like they cater it. Don't you think they just get a little like it turned up? Like okay, and
I
by
think
the way, before I let you answer, they also did heavily profanity, and it was not bleep. But go ahead.
Do I? Yes, I think that you are absolutely correct in your assessment, and I think that WWE is finding ways to reward their more loyal fan base. Listen, Boston and New York are ravenous wrestling cities. Look at how many wrestlers came out of the Boston, New England area. Triple H, Baron Raschke, Carmelo Hayes, John Cena, fucking Justin
Mercedes
Incredible.
Moné. Excuse me.
Yeah, Mercedes Moné. Like Boston has a lot of history with WWE as well as New York, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I liked it. Did I like the matches I saw last night? I don't know. We could talk about it, but
All right, so you brought it up a couple seconds ago. Let's talk about the tag team, the women's tag match, Kabuki Warriors versus Lyra and Bailey, in which Lyra scored a pinfall. No, was it a pin? Yeah, it was a pinfall. I couldn't remember if it was pinfall submission, but it was a pinfall. I guess that earns them a shot at the tag titles. From what I was understanding from the commentators.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought if the match is like it was last night, which if it's a WrestleMania match, we know it's going to be better because the majority of those women, 75% of those women have performed at WrestleMania. I think Lyra's did Lyra perform at WrestleMania last year? She did. All right, so all of them are WrestleMania competitors. They know. And especially with Bailey and Asuka being the WrestleMania veterans there, if this match does happen at WrestleMania, I expect it to be sneaky good.
It can be because I still feel there'll be other teams involved, and that will help Lyra because she kind of shit at the bed last year. WrestleMania has been talked about on Unreal season 2. Go watch it, guys, if you didn't see it. So it will kind of get the pressure off for her a little bit, but I don't know. I'm not this multi-women tag team match. I don't know. I'm not excited. Not excited. That's the word. I'm not excited.
Not excited.
I will watch it, but listen. We talked about how tag team wrestling is dead. It's soft. Shouldn't we be excited when we see a tag team championship match, just like I saw a Revolution with FTR and the Bucks? Shouldn't I get excited somehow? Like minus the blood, minus the table spots, minus all that high flying stuff. I was excited before that all happened. I don't know. I'm excited for Damian and R-Truth, but am I excited for Nia Jackson, Lash Legend?
Well, I mean, that's good because we're not talking about Nia Jackson, Lash Legend. We were talking about Bailey and Lyra versus Kabuki Warriors at Mania, which should not be a multi-person tag match whatsoever. It should just be those two teams. Those two teams had a killer match last night. Let's not overcomplicate. I feel like WWE lately has been overcomplicating and breaking shit that and trying to fix shit that wasn't broken to begin with. Our fearless on Facebook during his birthday. Hey guys.
Hey boss. Hey boss. How you doing? Good. But anyway, I'm not excited, but Bailey did look good. Lyra was okay.
Listen, put Lyra against Kyrie, and like that. Bro, I thought she killed her with that power bomb.
I be thinking about that certain wrestlers too.
Like, she picked her up. She picked her up at a normal tempo,
Like a baby.
and then she just brought her down so violently that it looked like it's one of those moves that if you tried to do it that way to your little cousin, it would probably break your back. You know. Let's talk about your boy and how he had how he had a future, or how about how he had a highlight reel match. Javon Evans defeating Grayson Waller.
Oh my God. Such a great display by Javon Evans. How can you not have this guy at a WrestleMania match challenging for a title? Like, are you kidding me right now? Are you really kidding me? If we do not put this kid in WrestleMania, Ray, I'm telling you, it's going to be one of the worst WrestleManias.
He might not be challenging for a title, but he definitely should be at WrestleMania.
He has to be involved. This guy was unreal. Unreal. I thought Michael Cole was going to say, holy shit.
Wait, but don't they have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania?
Don't do that, Ray. Don't disrespect Javon Evans. No, don't do that.
I don't have the pencil. I wouldn't bring it up. Disrespecting him.
I know, but don't bring up Andre the Giant.
All I'm saying is don't be surprised if that's where they put him and they have him win the whole thing.
No, listen. We debuted this kid on a commercial break, for God's sakes. Okay, we are hurting him enough for the last 2 years in NXT. No gold, by the way. That's right, folks. He won no gold in NXT for 2 years. Don't disrespect him like that. Don't put him in that Andre the Giant Rumble match. Please. I don't even want to see the match. Did we get it last year? I don't even know if we got it last year. But I don't want to see it.
That's the problem with 2-night pay-per-views. Like WrestleMania. Like, you can't.
That's why one of the worst ones I thought was the one in Jersey. What was it, 35? With Becky and Ronda. They came out. Yeah, dude, they came out like 12:30. I had to go to work.
Yeah, that's the one that people got stranded at the stadium.
They flipped
because PT public transit stopped working.
It's a Sunday, dude. I would be pissed too if I was stranded. I'd be like, how the hell am I gonna get home from here?
Yeah,
and they come out like 12:30. I'm like, dude, I'm going to bed. Ronda Rousey ain't worth this shit. I'm sorry, but
no. So, what would you do? Would you have Penta issue an open challenge, have Javon answer it, and then win the title?
Yeah, I have to. That makes perfect sense. Two guys that are completely over. I love it, and that just the way that we talked about earlier. There's not a face or a heel. They're both just guys working and trying to get the title. At the end, you're going to see the respect. You're not going to see a heel turn on that. But then we have Dominic. But we don't know what Dominic's going to do now. So it makes perfect sense. I think he should issue an open challenge. But here's this, Ray. Do we get the Penta promo open challenge, IC, and everybody starts to come out in their mother for the last 12 minutes? I don't need to see that either.
No.
And I'm afraid I might. So what do we do, Ray? I love your idea. Penta, Javon, I love it.
I think that's the way to go. If they don't want to do that flat out and they want to do the fucking open challenge, then make it like a... Oh, hold on. You make it like a gauntlet match and you have Javon come out last. This way here, they can be like, oh, Javon won it, but Penta had to go through 5 other people. So you still keep Penta strong. You give the belt to Javon, and then you let Javon do what Javon does. And Penta doesn't really lose anything because he went through 5 other people first.
I hope they could plug him in somehow because I see the New Day coming out, Kofi, the last 2 weeks with Javon.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want that to stop. No offense to Kofi. So I don't know. Hopefully we could slide him out through the back door and just get him out of that whole Kofi, I want you to join, la la la. Like,
right.
Get away from that. Like,
I know that the New Day hasn't felt right since they went from a 3-person to a regular tag. I don't want Javon there. I don't think he gains anything from it. Not at this point in his career. It's too early for shit like that to just throw him in to be a random in a random tag team.
Yeah. They did that to one of my favorite tag teams that we still haven't seen on TV, by the way, the Creed brothers.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Street Profits.
Oh no, they're one, but the Creed brothers got really disrespected when they came up.
I think once Chad got injured, that was
it.
That was it. They had they
yeah.
The problem, and this is why I hate watching Unreal and why I pretty much refuse to watch it. Because when they show you those fucking creative room sessions, right, with the creative team, and you read across the fucking bottom like where they came from or you know what their fucking claim to fame is, and how none of them are fucking wrestlers except for maybe one or two, and you don't even listen to them unless you're fucking Michael P.S. Hayes doot. You know, I get so fucking angry. I get angry. I get furious because back when you had the NWA, Jim Crockett Promotions, the early days of WWF and WCW, your creative team consisted a lot of either wrestlers or people that knew the business and how storytelling, what type of storytelling made sense to wrestling fans and wrestlers. Do you realize now that if you wanted to get into the creative department, the creative team of WWE, that you have to have, you don't even have to have degrees. You just have to have experience writing episodic TV. You don't even need a product knowledge. And that irritates me. That infuriates me because I know at least 15 people that could sit in that creative room with Triple H, with, I'd say Michael Hayes, but meh. And write fucking circles around what you currently have in that room.
I agree with you, man. And wrestlers make the best bookers. We all saw that with Dusty back in the day.
Oh my God.
Yeah, great
Here's
booker.
the reason why he has a finish named after him in the creative department. A Dusty finish.
Yeah, and you know, I ask you this to everything you say. I mean, you make valid points. I'm not going to argue with you. I agree with you. But if we were in that room as wrestlers, will we be heard even if we gave the ideas to the head creative, who is what, Paul Levesque right now? Will we be heard? And I know you don't watch Unreal, which I'm happy for you. I wish I didn't watch it, but I'm a wrestling fan, so I'm a junkie. Okay, it's in my freaking veins.
I am too, but it's just some things I don't want to know about.
But check it. There was people like David Reynolds, right? He said, oh, you know, Road Dogg got fired, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he got fired, but there was an episode on that show that basically he was cutting the idea with the R-Truth, and oh, he wants to cut his hair, he wants to do this, he don't want to do that, he wants to cut his hair, he wants to try something new. And Paul's like, yeah, but how is that going to work? Dude, why are you even saying all that? Why didn't you just hear what a wrestler, a veteran, is trying to tell you, that it could work, it could get a pop, but you have to give it a fair shot. You know, sometimes those voices were dead with Vince McMahon. We've seen that, right? How many times have a SmackDown Raw show been rescripted before the show is even going on?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's an embarrassment that these people come from like what, TV shows, and they're working for WWE, and that doesn't help either, to be honest. I mean, I think they promoted. I don't know, Ray. We could look it up, but they did promote as a woman, which I have no problem with. A VP of, is that creative? I'm not sure, Ray. Maybe executive
I
vice
think-
president. She was part of creative, but she got promoted to vice
Mhm.
president, I believe.
Yeah.
Could be wrong. Is I think it's EVP of creative. And I have no problem with a woman being higher in that rank, but if you don't have the knowledge, if you don't know what's going on, if you don't know this, if you don't know who could get over, I think it's doom. We'll get the, excuse my language, but we'll get the shit.
So it's very simple. I'm going to break it down as simple as I possibly can, right? Do you have a carpenter perform surgery on you when you need a kidney removed?
No, sir.
No. So why wouldn't you have somebody who has wrestling knowledge working in your creative department?
You know what also got to me too? That when I go ahead.
Hold that thought. I just want to finish this and then you have the floor.
Yeah, go ahead. Shoot.
Also, I did see that clip that you were talking about because that clip circulated
Okay.
a lot when Road Dogg did leave. I thought it was hilarious that Triple H was talking about not letting somebody cut their hair when the man had shoulder length hair 1 week and then comes back with nothing. I just thought that was like, he said that and I was like, the fuck?
I think creative lost a step, and I think they lost a step. Even, yeah, I think they lost a step. Even with Road Dogg there, I still think they lost a step. And I think you're right. I think you need veterans in that room, like a Paul Heyman, a good mind like, and I know he's fresh, but Bobby Roode. Everybody's saying great things about Bobby Roode, including Michael Hayes. I think you need to just give him the ball and run with it. And they're not afraid to speak up, but sometimes it's hard just to pass that to the final boss and it doesn't get approved, man. I didn't have a problem when I saw that episode. I didn't have a problem with R-Truth cutting his hair. I thought it would have been cool. Like, oh my God, this is a new R-Truth. Now we're going to get the pop. But it didn't happen that way. Sometimes you got to roll the dice. And I think, look, we all know they built WrestleMania a year before. Okay. They already have ideas for the next WrestleMania in Saudi.
Yeah, how well is that working out for you?
It's not, but because the price is outrageous. But
I mean,
they already have a plan. Listen, if you have a plan, Ray, if you're going to work 9 to 5 every day and you take the train or whatever, why are you going to switch it up and walk? If you have the idea, if you're the head creative, like Paul Levesque, why do I have to keep rolling the dice? And that's what upsets me about Drew. It's like, yo, how are you going to let this guy win? He deserves it, for God's sakes.
Mm-hmm.
I love the idea of Drew walking into WrestleMania as champ, win or lose.
Yeah.
How are you going to do that? Because we have to cater to someone that is selling top merch compared to Drew?
Well, so I think I think this was more so them answering, and this is why selling to TKO is probably the worst thing they could have done. Because before they were sold and Vince was in charge, or the board of directors were in charge, they didn't have anybody to answer to, right? They sell to TKO, and TKO is like, hey, we're going to raise prices, and then 6 months later, they're going to bitch about how WrestleMania isn't sold out, even though they're doing a second year in a row in Vegas. And it's just like, and then somebody at TKO is like, well, put that blonde-haired guy, because they don't know anybody's name because they don't watch the fucking product. Put that blonde-haired guy in the main event. It worked well for us last time. It worked well for us last year. That's not how wrestling goes. Sorry, TKO. I never thought that I would say this, but I really hope that the company gets bought from TKO and goes back to being a private company.
Well said.
Navarre over on Facebook asks, it's kind of his
He loves this
question.
game. Loves it.
Are you guys playing WWE 2K26
I'm
yet?
not.
No, Navarre. I will not, and I have not, and I will not.
I will not until the price drops, but I'm playing Battlefield and Call of Duty at the same time. Holla.
Bro, fucking almost $200 for a special edition. Like, talk about TKO really putting the screws to people.
If I buy that edition, I'm gonna get it graded. Okay, I'm not even gonna open the product. I'm just gonna keep it on ice and get it graded.
Dude, like, it's ridiculous. I know this isn't wrestling related, but with the everything that's going on and the rising cost of video games, and why are we paying fucking full price still for digital games that do not require any disc or case manufacturing? It still boggles my mind. I'm pretty sure that I have paid for my last video game for a very long time. I bought Crimson Desert, fantastic game by the way, but
Choice.
I'm over it. I'm sticking to just free to play games for the rest of the year.
It's only like
I'm sticking to my Warzone, my RedSec.
That's good. Man.
My Fortnite, Warframe, Siege. Like I'm done.
Shoot them up. It's going to be 3 games, but there's 2 games that always I get the full price. One is Zelda. Any Zelda. I just fucking love Zelda. I love it.
I mean, such a good game.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a good game, good story, well-written storyline and plot? Zelda. Now, if we could just take the Zelda creative team and drop them into WWE. Oh my God.
Yeah. That and GTA. Now, if GTA was $100 supposedly rumored,
well, listen, GTA is not coming out to like 2030, so
it's in November. Don't scare me. It's November, man.
Bro, they have pushed off so many, and I guarantee you, in fucking July, they're gonna be like, 2027.
Nah, they'll release PS6, right? And then like months later, they'll be like, well, we got the GTA 6 for the PS6. Just like they did with the 5. Now it's on PS5. It's available.
Yeah.
I still bought it, by the way.
That is the only game that I have ever had for 3 generations of systems.
I got it for my... Yeah, go ahead.
And my 360, my PS4, and my... I'm playing it on my PS5. Like, it has literally lasted 3 system generations.
I bought a 360. I loved it until I had the Rings of Death, and I flipped. I was like,
bro,
dude, what the F?
Do you know how I fixed that? This is how I fixed it. Traded it into GameStop, then went down the street to a different GameStop and used that credit to buy a newer one. I literally just wrapped it in a towel and stuck it in the oven at like 250 for, I think it was 45 minutes, because the main problem was caused by the wires coming unsoldered from the motherboard. So by sticking it in a towel in the oven, you don't burn it because it's a slow, gradual warm up, right? And what that does is that re-liquefied the solder enough to reattach to the motherboard momentarily. And then you took it out to cool it. And once it hardened, it was fine. But man, let me tell you, was I ready to crawl out of my skin when they were very much like, all right, let's test it, see if it works. Because I was like, I tested it, it worked. I was like,
my stepson had a PS4, didn't work because he messed it up. So when some games would load, some would not. I took it to the store in Brooklyn. And I was like, yeah, I have this PS4. What it says, you say you give me 2 something, right? Like, yeah, okay. He's like, I'm gonna test it though to see. I was like, oh man, here we go. And you know, when he put the first game, like load the title screens with everything, but then it kind of like stopped, and I was like, "Oh shit, here we go." And he's like, "Oh, it could be the game. Let me try something else." He tried another game, and it worked perfectly. And but check this out. Yeah, I did, and then we used the money. We got something else, but it was crazy. I was like, man, my stepson's like, "Oh my god, you're so awesome." I was like a big hero dad. I was like, "Oh yeah, cool, no problem. Now let's get the hell out of Brooklyn.
Let's go.
Let's go now. All right, you got your PS4. Let's get out of here."
All right, we briefly hit on the Penta Dom.
Yes, we did. We hit the Bailey, we hit the Lyra. What we didn't hit was the big one, CM Punk. Well, there's two things, right?
Well,
Finn and Dom and CM Punk and Roman.
You want to take Finn and Dom and lead us in?
It's really short. It's really
want to
short.
take Finn and Dom, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll come back, close it out, talking about Punk and Roman.
It's really short. I thought it was well done. I think every time somebody leaves the Judgment Day, they get better. And I think Finn is back to his old form, his OG form, which I call it. I love it. I loved everything about it, even though I knew what was going to happen.
I missed that theme song so much.
Yeah, I missed it. It's going to be a great pop at WrestleMania. And it's going to be a really good match. And Finn is really going to, work with Dom. I'm going to say about the match, he did have a few hiccups. I think he just had an off day. But I think that will solidify both of them, and it will solidify Finn into being that next babyface going into the new season of WWE.
Absolutely. David said, getting back to our quick video game discussion.
Dude, I wish I learned that.
David said, "I used to wrap my 360 in a hot towel to stop the rings of death. It only worked once, though. That's all. I only needed it to work once. I only needed it to work once.
I didn't even do that.
So, all right, we're gonna do our Simple Greens sponsor, as they are our
They do deliver
and best sponsors.
They do
deliver. And then we're gonna come back and we're gonna close out the show talking about Roman and Punk.
It's a good way.
At Simply Green, we believe in the power of nature to bring balance, relaxation, and well-being. As a premium THC brand, our mission is to provide high-quality, responsibly sourced products that enhance your lifestyle. Whether you're seeking relaxation, creativity, or wellness support, we curate a selection of top-tier THC to suit your needs. Rooted in trust and transparency, we are committed to delivering safe, lab-tested products while fostering a community that embraces education and responsible use. Simply Green is more than just a brand. It's a movement for a greener, more mindful future. Call 631-846-6060 to order or visit our location in Coram, New York. For use only by adults 21 years of age and older. Keep out of reach of children and pets. Please consume responsibly. Cannabis is not recommended for use by persons who are pregnant or nursing. Concerned about your cannabis use? Contact the New York State HIPAA line by texting HOPE-NY, calling 1-877-8, HOPE-NY, or visiting oasisny.gov/HOPE. The Undisputed Hour with Bobby Fish premieres on April 7th at 9 p.m. Only on the Around the Ropes radio show.
Oh, did you check that? Did you catch that?
Loved it.
I had no idea that was happening.
I can't wait. I should wear a shirt and suit and tie for that show.
Absolutely. April 7th, good friend of the show, Bobby Fish, comes back for the Undisputed Hour. That's when Bobby Fish will be joining us at 9 p.m. on his scheduled Tuesday, April 7th. Joining us at 9 p.m. and staying for the entire hour. There's a lot of things we would like to talk to Bobby about. First off, we would like to know just exactly how he's doing and what he's getting up to with his high school wrestling team that he was working with before. And then from there, I'm sure all of the questions will be coming in regarding wrestling. So to everyone out there watching on Facebook, YouTube, your sister's ass, please, by all means, make sure you have your questions ready for Bobby. We will be more than happy, as long as they are appropriate, to ask them for you. So now comes the part of the show where we talk about our fearless leader, John Blaine's favorite match that is getting him to recognize and look up to and get excited and get pumped and get amped for WrestleMania, which is Roman Reigns and CM Punk. He is so invested in this. It is the only match that is making him want to watch WrestleMania. Well, that and the fact that it's kind of our jobs, whether we want to or not, to do it. So, Jay, in 20 minutes, when you're gasping for air and all that oil and jizz that you put on yourself has dried up, what are you going to do?
What do you mean what I'm going to do? What I'm going to do to this match?
I mean, that was a direct quote from CM Punk last night in his promo.
Oh, yeah, he did talk about that, right? I'm sorry, I didn't pay much attention to CM Punk.
I heard it, like I had it on in the background, right? I was getting stuff out for work and
God, he said that.
You know, getting the shit ready for the day to come. And he, you know, I hear him talking and da-da-da-da. I hear him drop the word jizz, and I immediately spun my head and went, I'm sorry, what? I don't know. I mean,
I don't
how
know
did you
either.
go from I'm going to bury you next to your father to you're old to you're covered in jizz? Where are we going? What?
I feel your frustration.
What are we?
I'm trying to understand.
Einstein. Look at this. They've got me with the Einstein hair.
I'm trying to understand what this is all about and how John is. I would love to hear John's take when he comes back about this promo segment because.
When he comes back, it'll be next Tuesday, and they would have had yet another promo segment. Maybe they'll talk about giraffes. Maybe they'll talk about fucking pandas. Maybe they'll talk about their stuffed animals or their no-no sock. I don't know. It's anybody's game at this point.
What they're doing,
David says,
basically, go ahead.
Era is about done.
It is about done. Sort of.
I don't know anymore.
I don't know either, Ray and David, but I do know this. I did not like the segment. I thought it didn't make sense. And I got completely lost before the jizz. I got lost when he was saying old and he was trying to like get a pop out of it and basically said, guys, do you think I'm old? And there was people putting the yes fingers up and saying yes, yes, yes. I thought that was a big miss.
I mean, listen, he's fucking 53 if I'm not mistaken. He's fucking old. Pause. Before my wife comes down here and beats the living shit out of me, I want to say for his sport, he is old.
And he did acknowledge it, which made no sense to me of how you're trying to turn something that makes no sense last week and try to get a pop out of it.
I forgot about that. Next week, John Blaine is going to be on location at
MSG, baby. MSG's, baby.
Right? Next week, I'll have my firsthand experience from being at Raw.
It's going to be a big show.
He's only 47, not 52.
Okay, but
God, he's only 2 years older than me?
But
Are you serious?
And you know what's crazy about that? That he also said in his promo, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to make money and I'm here to sell the match. But you're not selling it correctly.
But you're not. You're not.
You're not. And I'm losing more interest week by week of hearing either one of those.
Are you selling the match? Undoubtedly, no.
You know who's got me more interested than anything? Jey Uso. Jey Uso got me more interested than CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. How is that possible?
What was that? He clocks both the members of the Vision with brass knucks right in front of the ref.
And then Michael Cole is like, Jey Uso gave the word. He gave the word. He's attacked. He attacked them. He attacked them. What are you doing, Roman? Oh, my God. I just think...
Fantastic Michael Cole impression, by the way.
Yeah. I just feel like the match is losing its wonder week by week. And whatever they try to do at this point is not working. Ray, you brought up the greatest point that I could possibly agree with you on the face of the earth. You said that there were rumors that they should have used Larry the dog. I 1000% agree. After what I saw last night, they should have done. It would have made the perfect sense, and it would have got me a little interest and not losing interest. And I'm losing interest week by week, and I think that's bad because a lot of people are going to love this match. I get it. But I think a lot of people, including myself, are going to be more invested on what the Usos are going to do. And are we going to see the reform of basically Roman with his cousins? I would love to see that. I would love to see it. Or even have Jay be that leader. Jay was the leader last night. He was the one that told Roman, yo, he disrespected our family. He disrespected our family. Go get him. Go get him. Go get him. And what did Roman say before all that? Let's remind folks. He said, guys, didn't you just have a tag team match? Yeah. Okay, I need you to leave the ring. So how did the switch just happen when Jay just basically said, go get him, go get him? A switch happened. That's why I'm more invested in Jay. Jimmy's not bad too, but I think Jay killed it last night.
I think Big Jim is going to be your silent killer when this whole storyline plays out.
I love it.
Because, yeah, Jay does the whole talking his hala, being all aggy and in your face and loud. But did you notice during the week that they confronted Punk, when Jimmy had the mic, he didn't do all the screaming. He didn't do all that obnoxious. He just quietly, calmly said, you need to apologize.
Mm-hmm.
And when Punk started his shtick, and it wasn't the apology that it was supposed to be, who was the one that hit him? Fast too. Like you thought it was going to be Jay, and it wasn't.
Jimmy.
Yeah. I think that the longer this is going to play out, you're going to see that Jimmy is going to be that to take a line from a wrestler that we were talking about earlier in the show, quiet but violent. I think he's proving it, David says, yep, 2 years older than you and me, Ray, but he looks about ready to cash in his pension. He does.
Yeah, man. He did say the whiskers.
Yeah. Navarro over on Facebook says, Raw should go back to old school Raw like 1998. No, please.
I wish. Please. You know why? I can't see these commercials. Every time I watch a match, it's like a freaking 4-minute commercial.
Listen, the commercial breaks where go back and actually watch some old school, some Monday Night Wars Raw, some Attitude.
Oh, USA Network?
Yeah, the commercial breaks are just as bad, just as long. But the matches just, like, if you actually go back and watch the matches, you're literally like, what the fuck are we doing? Was there storytelling? Yes. There's storytelling now. Was it good storytelling, though?
Not really.
For 98% of those storylines, it was not.
But the fans were invested. Is it to say that it doesn't matter what you say out there, no matter what superstar you are or who you're fighting for? It's just basically just saying certain things like jizz or shit just to get a pop?
Well, I don't know if you would say that because Bailey said something during her after-match promo with Lyra, and it fell flatter than fucking...
and she did it to try to get a pop. Did it work? No.
Hard no.
But do you feel like that's what we've been seeing the last 2 weeks with Punk and Roman? Like last week with the family and everything that Punk was saying to the Usos, and now this week with Jizz and shit, and this guy doesn't even come out to defend himself. I feel like now we're just trying to say anything out there just to get the fans invested. Oh wait,
We are trying.
let me just put Punk through the table so I could get people invested in this match.
What they are trying to do is create and use a 2-hour-long show to create short format viral videos. It doesn't work that way.
I see ridiculousness.
That's why we hit the phrases to get the pops, to emit the it seemingly for us feels like it's out of nowhere, but that's because it is out of nowhere, because they are trying to get those 15-20 second clips that they can break off from the footage and throw on social media, throw on your TikTok, throw on your Instagram reels, your YouTube stories, or YouTube reels and Instagram stories, whatever the fucking names are. It's short format engagement. That's what they are looking for.
Okay, so I know you like CM Punk Roman. You want to see the match as well. So do I. But I ask you this. With this promo from last night and from last week and the week before, how do you feel right now from what we experienced from the first promo to now about watching this match? Are you excited? Are you invested? As John Blaine says,
no, I'm diving. If you take how I was a week ago, 4 weeks ago, when this match was, when this match was first announced, and they started with the build up to it, right? I am so divested from that point. Like if you take into account these last 4 weeks, this week and last week, absolute dog shit, have divested me from the match beyond belief. The previous 2 weeks before that were good. You had Punk going for the low blow, right? Going immediately for the throat, bury you next to your father, blah, blah, blah. You have Roman in the ring going, fuck did this motherfucker just say? Like he's mulling it over because he's in shock of what was said. Then the following week, you have the Usos out to confront him. They get a little physical. And then last week, you have your old. Listen, there's only a 7-year. Just so everybody is clear, there was only a 7-year difference between Roman and Punk. That's it. 7 years.
You're old. Boom.
It's funny that "you're old" is the phrase that fucking made Punk go and get physical, build up. No, that, and then this past week, no, you have taken interest. How do you take interest away from one of your WrestleMania main events?
That's two. That's two main event. Night 1 and night 2.
Like, I don't get it. Navarre asks or says tickets were cheaper when Vince owned it, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Yes, we have covered that numerous times, that
absolutely
since they sold to TKO said Vince kept the prices low because he wanted it to be a family experience, and they just want to make money.
Only bosses could go to shows like John Blaine, not us. I can't go.
No,
I can't go next week. It's too much.
Not unless Simply Greens want to sponsor us to do a on location show, but I don't think we've quite filled their coffers enough for them to be like, hey, you can do
I'm not loaded like John Blaine, but if I was, I would be there next Monday as well.
Yeah, hey, I just want you to know before we go, I want you to know that the main event of this week's NXT was Tony D versus Ricky Saints.
Okay.
And
who won?
Ethan Page. No, it was disqualification. Ethan Page got involved. Ethan and Ricky beat down Tony D, and out comes Hendry. And now Hendry's in the ring with Tony D, looking at Saints and Page, who are fighting over the title.
So crazy, man. Because I always said that Ethan Page needs to come up right away,
Bro,
but I do want him to win 2 times for the belt. So it's
they're
like
turning these 3 people into laughing stocks.
that they
They
don't
are
have stars.
ruining.
I get it.
They
Great.
are ruining. You know what? I'll throw Tony in there as well. All 4 of these people in this match, they are ruining.
But who else do they have? Who?
I guess that's a fucking them problem.
It is. That's why they're in St. Louis and not in Las Vegas for WrestleMania weekend. That's why they're not in Vegas. They have there's no how do you say, stock in NXT. There's no belief that the creative have there that they think they could sell out something in Vegas on an NXT Stand and Deliver show because of the talent they have. You're right. They're ruining these 4 guys. I want to see Ethan Page win, but I want to see him come up. He should have came up 6 months ago.
Bro, can you remember when him and Chelsea Green held the mixed tag championships for AAA?
Absolutely.
That was when you bring Ethan Page up and you keep him there. I don't care if you have him be Chelsea's, I don't want to say lackey, but you have him be Chelsea's cohort, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to say, have him be Chelsea's Luther.
No.
But like he's always there and he feeds off of her. Like you could have gone so many ways with that. So many.
I'm just afraid that when they lose these 4, like who is going to carry that brand? We know Tony D, but Tony D needs opponents.
Tony D needs opponents.
So
you might see more TNA fluctuate, talent.
I'm tired of that.
Well, next week you're gonna have Dark State versus OTM and Mike Santana.
Oh, so now we're just putting random people in TNA in matches.
Hold up. First off, I will say this: Mike Santana did cut a promo, but I'm not entirely sure what he said because I have my buds in because we're doing the show.
We'll find out
as to why he wanted to back OTM. So I don't know.
Because they're from the streets.
Maybe. I don't know.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Because they're all Puerto Rican, and I don't mean that as a knock. I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to figure out, like, what would be the common.
I don't see.
Well, what would be the link that binds OTM that might?
Yeah, I get it.
Use TNA to come to NXT with the TNA title, and face Dark State. Like, I just don't. I need to go back and watch to see what that synergy is. David over at Facebook. I'd love to one day see the North, Paige and Alexander, on either Raw or SmackDown. Tearing up the. He says teacup. I think he means tear up the tag division. The North was so good. TNA. Here's the funny thing is, right? TNA didn't know what they had until it was gone. Right. The first thing is Ethan Page goes to AEW, and the North, which ultimately causes the North to break. Right. Alexander then becomes a single star, and he carries the company for a couple of years. Now Alexander is in AEW. Do you think that they might keep a Page down in NXT long enough for Alexander's contract to run out in AEW and WWE come in and just drop a Brinks truck on his lap?
No way.
And then that's how we get the North? Do you think we'd even ever get the North in WWE?
I don't think we ever will.
Because I would love to see the North versus the Creed brothers.
I was a big Wolves fan, so that was my tag team. Unfortunately, that person did something bad, so it got dismembered. But he's still wrestling, so in the Indies.
Do you know who? Funny thing that you bring up the Wolves. Do you know who in Ring of Honor who was one of the more consistent opponents for the Wolves?
Can't think of any.
Can't think of any?
Ring of Honor? Wasn't watching
Ring of
really
Honor?
heavily. Gotta say.
Red Dragon.
Okay, Red Dragon. Okay.
Red Dragon had fantastic feuds with the Wolves. You could call it ROH's version of FTR Briscoes
Okay.
or
I
FTR
can watch
Bucks. If you can, definitely go back and try to
I'm gonna
find
go
those
back.
Wolves Red Dragon matches. And do you know on April 7th who's going to be joining us on the show?
One of the members of the Red Dragon. The legend himself,
Fish.
Bobby Fish.
Man with the most educated feet in the business.
I gotta ask, his name is Fish. Does he go fishing?
Please don't ask.
I don't want to ask. I don't wanna- It's a funny question, but
I'm sorry. I know I said David was the last comment of the night, but our fearless leader did send this message. He said,
what?
"Hey, want to send best wishes for Amanda, who is in the hospital. She is finally making a recovery." That is a shock to us.
Best wishes. I'm shocked though.
Best wishes, Amanda. We're glad that
That's
you are
so
making a
crazy.
recovery, and we hope you continue to do so.
That's so crazy because one of my coworkers got a stroke last week and he's in the hospital. So it's just crazy how people like now Amanda, like best wishes, man. My prayers.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, end of the show. Final thoughts, Jay.
Well, I'm hoping we get some good build-ups coming into WrestleMania. We have 3 weeks left. Right now we're being downed and depressed. I hope my face can be cheered up next week. It should be cheered up because MSG is at Raw and I'm from New York City, folks. From Queens, by the way. So I hope it's going to be a great show. John Blaine will be there. Happy birthday, John Blaine. We love you, baby. Can't wait to see you next week. Hopefully you get some good content for us going into that show, Monday Night Raw, so we can plug it in Tuesday for the show. But overall, I can't wait. I can't wait for Bobby Fish because that is a good question with the Wolves. I do want to ask about that, so I will go back and watch that, Ray. And I hope everybody has a good week, Ray.
Thank you, Jay, for the show. Thank you for joining me on the show. I appreciate all of your hard work and effort that you put into these shows every Tuesday. Thank you out there to everybody that watches on Facebook, on YouTube, Twitch, what have you. We are very grateful for the Around the Ropes Nation. As for me, I hope everybody has a good rest of the week. I will be here in New England, in the Boston area. But I do want everybody to know that I fucking hate it here, but I'll never leave. With that being said, we out.